Hi there, my name is Eprynce and I welcome you to the Worship Leaders Digest. The Worship Leaders Digest is designed to help everyone who desires to lead worship in a corporate setting, be it in church, conference, and all whatnot. All right, today we'll be talking about the two important things a worship leader, that is a praise and worship leader, must know for you to be on your way to becoming an excellent worship leader. Okay, so now today we are going to take it from two angles. Number one, we're taking it from the spiritual angle, and talking about the spiritual. We're talking about the spiritual and the physical. That is all the arrangements and all that. And coincidentally, two of them work together. All right. You can't decide to be all spiritual and not know your craft, not know what to do when you become spiritual. Of course, if you're spiritual, if you approach it from the spiritual angle alone, you may get stuck. All right, because you need to balance it. You need to know your craft. All right. So starting on that note, to approach it from spiritual, it's key, because the person we are raising the worship to, that is God, is a spiritual being, and He says, "Those who worship Me must worship Me in spirit and in truth." Now, a great author and an authority in the worship ministry, A.W. Tozer, says, when we are worshiping, if the love of God is in us and the Spirit of God is breathing praise within us, all the musical instruments in heaven are suddenly playing in full support. That is, when you're worshiping and the Spirit of God dwells in you, the musical instruments in heaven will back you up. In fact, you have heavenly instrumentalists playing for you. Okay, and this conveys this man's attitude, this man's approach to worship, and how Christians should approach worship leading, and worship in general. In other words, more than skill, more than talent, more than going to acquire the basic and the advanced knowledge of worship leading and musical knowledge, it is important that we should have the spiritual knowledge. And what is most important is that God is after our character. All right, God is after our character. Then moving on to the physical approach, physical aspects. Now I'm going to point out some points, some things that we need to note. Number one, there is need for humility. Any worship leader who does not minister from an authentic posture of humility will encounter real obstacles, real frustration. For any human being to be a worshiper of a sovereign God, he must first humble himself, because the Bible says that we should humble ourselves before the presence of the Lord, and what will happen? He will lift us up. It is impossible for an ordinary human to worship an extraordinary, a supernatural God in your human form. In your human form, because those who worship Him must worship Him in spirit and in truth. Now, this talks generally about worship, not just coming to stand on stage and lead people in songs of worship. It talks about your life, you being the worship that God desires to have. All right. Only humble people find cause to seek refuge in the name of the Lord, because the Bible says that God resists the proud. He resists the proud. Okay, humility is an important characteristic of all Christian leaders, especially those who are talented, those who are gifted. All right. So on this note, I'd like to bring to an end this episode of the Worship Leaders Digest. I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notifications whenever we upload our new episodes. Thank you for watching. Till I see you next week, remain in the atmosphere of worship.